everybody! Welcome. It's Lidia Kazawa here, and today we're going to be getting into some VTuber Newsy news. But before we do, please ensure to smash subscribe, hit the like, ring the bell. And guys, you're on the stream on Twitch, head over to Twitch. And if you're at work, leave me a lurk. And guys, just to give you some clarity, the episode that happened on April 1st was an April Fool's episode. The news was very real, but I was just doing it in a different voice. And also, guys, if you can help me out by subscribing, I'd really appreciate it. I need to reach 50K by my birthday, which is May 28th. So I really need your help. If you haven't already, please make sure to hit that subscribe button. All right, guys, on to the very first piece of Newsy news. This is Corp, and Corp is a parent company of Hololive Production. It was founded by Otagi Tanigo on June 13th, 2016. Within Corp, there is a branch called the Holostars, and the Holostars is a male VTuber group by Hololive Production, initially operating under a separate agency. The auditions for the group began on May 27th, 2019, and its members began their activities in June. So why are we talking about Corp, Hololive, and Holostars? Well, guys, a very shocking tweet has been dropped by Cover. This is posted on their X account on April 3rd, 2026. So it says here, notice on the changes to be made to Holostar's management structure. Thank you very much for your continued support of Hololive Production and Holostars. We wish to notify you of some upcoming changes to be made to Holostar's management structure. Since its launch in 2019, Holostars has been active for almost 7 years. With the debuts of first, second, and third gens, followed by Uproar, it has grown into a group with a total of 12 currently active members, and over the course of 7 years, their activities went beyond streaming on YouTube as they joined events, exhibitions, collaborations, and live shows on site. However, the current state of Holostar's business has forced us as a company to have repeated discussions on how to maintain Holostars in a sustainable manner. We considered the future direction of the group's activities from various perspectives. Ultimately, we have arrived to the conclusion that changing the management structure in a way that fits the current status of Holostar's activities is unavoidable. As a result, the company-led activities of the group, which have progressed alongside the individual activities of each talent, will be coming to a close. From this fiscal year onward, activity policies will shift to mainly focusing on individual activities. Moreover, as we reallocate certain resources, some of our support will be limited or conclude entirely. These structural changes will mainly affect company-led projects and initiatives, talent streams conducted in company studios, all types of new merchandise release, including anniversary items, production and release of original songs, etc. Meanwhile, within this new structure, we will continue to provide the necessary and appropriate environment and support for each talent to pursue their activities in line with the aforementioned policies. We are in discussion with each talent regarding their activities going forward and respect their wishes to the best of our abilities. We hope that you will continue to give warm support for the talent's activities. Please understand that these changes are being made as an executive decision aiming to optimize the overall business and has not been caused by any of the talents themselves. Please refrain from directly inquiring with the talents about this particular matter. Once again, we hope for your continued support and the appreciation of Holostars in the future. So that is an absolute bombshell. Essentially, this is kind of like what is, I guess, considered a soft firing. But anyways, let's continue. So this is Kageyama Shin, and Kageyama Shin is a male Japanese virtual YouTuber endorsed by Hololive branch Holostars. He is a member of the third generation, and this is the statement that he's posted. And Shin says, in summary, all events, AGF, live shows, Osha Festa, Stella Cole, company-led projects, studio usage, including Simple 3D, sales of birthday and anniversary goods, new goods, voice sales, and original song releases will all be gone. Everyone, I'm truly sorry. Let's see what some of the people on X are saying. So this is Ken Kami, and Ken says, you did this to them. You tricked those boys into a dream, and you never acknowledged them properly. All of their hopes, all of their dreams, you crushed them all. All this for what? Fear of unicorns? Are you going to cut every branch that isn't profitable now? Disrespectful. This is Golden Witch saying, do absolutely nothing with stars. Forbid them from collaborating with the girls. Treat them like they're Voldemort levels of forbidden. Give them zero opportunities. They make no money in return. Punish stars by essentially cutting off all resources and effectively killing them. And then Tasman says, yeah, this is because the company treats them like outsiders and includes them in nothing. You don't put them in Fest. You don't put them in Holograph. You don't put them in big holo events or collabs or tie-ins or merch or anything. Then you shut them down for not being more popular. Raga says, real black company, man. They just ditched them like that. Ora says, other VTuber companies have shown that male VTuber branches can be extremely successful. If Cover finds Holostars is struggling, it is because a deficiency in management, not with the talents, and pulling back resources like this shows the inability of this company to lead. All right, and Wade says, at least the parasocial fans of the females will finally be happy. They have a meltdown anytime one of the guys collabs with the female. I think part of the problem here is that Hololive has not pushed the guys anywhere near as much as the girls, which I know makes sense since the girls make more money, but there is money to be made out there for guys. The males in Niji seem to be doing fine, although I don't watch Niji, but I have seen some of their figures in the past. They are doing well. well. You barely ever hear about Holostars, and they never make money unless Cover throws some money and advertising behind them to launch them. Now it's come to this. Shame, really. Frank says, so what was the point of creating Holostars? If they're going to marginalize them, they're almost never seen accompanying the girls or in collaborations or in events, nothing like that. So did the parasocial fans win, or is this Cover's fear of losing? The mass fans are very active in consuming and spending. For my part, I'm going to unsubscribe from all my memberships as a form of protest. So obviously in regards to this news, there have been statements from other people in Hololive. This is Kiara, and Kiara is a female English-speaking virtual YouTuber associated with Hololive, debuting in 2020 as part of Hololive English's first generation myth. And Kiara posted on her X account on April 3rd, 2026 at around 6:18 a.m. And Kiara says, no matter how talented you are, you might not end up being successful. What's needed then is either incredible luck with algorithm or support from others to push you towards where you need and deserve to be. It's frustrating when you have neither of those. This particular statement, these are some of the responses from Kiara's tweet here. This is Cowlstedge says, respectfully, this has to be the most tone-deaf response / tweet at your coworkers. Daily VTweeter says, okay, thumbs up, but this is literally what's needed to be said right now. Of all times you choose these words instead of encouraging words and supporting those who are struggling right now. This is kind of insensitive to say, or it's just me that feels like that, crying face. And then this is Golden Witch says, quote, support from others to push you. Shut the F up. Others like Callie, Bay, and Crony did their part to push the guys. You did nothing except kept pandering to shippers and push nobody but yourself. This is Twice for Life saying, is this some kind of backhanded comment from Kiara to Holostars? WTF, no way. This is Big Nothing Man says, it's really rare for Wawa to acknowledge the stars, but glad to see she's giving them support she feels comfortable with. Hippo says, I think she could give them help by collabing with them. I bet that would go crazy. Big Nothing Man continues to say, there is a Star Trek episode where one of the subplots ends with the basic message of, you can do everything right and still lose. Sometimes that's just life. This is Bluefish saying, could have helped like Callie, Herb, Shiori, or Ollie, but you're too glued in idol culture to even give a damn about being human towards the gender that propped you up. And then this is Rainer saying, the reality is that they got every opportunity that they could, but they just weren't that talented, and their quote success reflected that. You can see here this person, their name is Rainer KFP, and obviously KFP is the fan name of Kiara's fan base here. This is KFP_Cruz saying, not entirely sure what this is about, but I'll do what I can to support those that I can and spread positivity. So much going on in our individual lives, and then there's so many creators like you I wish I could support more. And this is Kiara, after all the backlash from that initial tweet, coming in to kind of give further clarification. Kiara posted this on April 3rd, 2026 at around 11:55 a.m. And Kiara says, I see people misinterpreting this. I am saying I don't personally agree with the decisions that have been made. So like, this is the thing, right? Sometimes when corporate VTubers tweet, a lot of times they can't directly say what they want to say. They do have to speak in a lot of vagueness. However, the problem with speaking in vagueness is that people have to come to these interpretations of what exactly this means. Human beings, we're trying to solve a puzzle. We're like, what does this mean? When you vague post like this, generally, this is the response that you're going to get, right? If you're not a little bit more direct, there's going to be lots of confusion, people jumping to conclusions. That does happen. All right, so let's see what some of the people on X are saying in regards to this tweet. So Lunchbox says, wow, Kiara's words being twisted out of context to the degree she needs to clarify what she meant again. Like this people want to murder or martyr or something. And then Kiara says, more news at 11 or so. So then this is Mori Calliope. And Mori Calliope is a female English-speaking virtual YouTuber associated with Hololive, debuting in 2020 as part of Hololive English's first generation myth. So Mori did have something to say as well. So this is posted on Mori's X account. This is posted on April 3rd, 2026 at around 8:01 a.m. And Mori Calliope says, we all want to see our favorites fly and create art in this ridiculously grim world where money is everything. The only thing you could do is cheer at the top of your lungs. I really hope you'll continue to do that. So this is Holostars making a statement in regards to the news from Cover Corp. This is posted on their X account on April 3rd, 2026 at around 3:03 a.m. And it says here, important announcement from Holostars. Thank you for your continued support. We deeply apologize for any anxiety caused by the recent changes in our operational structure. The individual activities of our talents will continue moving forward, so we would greatly appreciate your ongoing support. For details, please refer to the source of the quote, which was the quote that we just read at the beginning of the Newsy news. So let's see what some people on X are saying in regards to this tweet. So this is Jar saying, I just want them to sell the rights cheaply and set them completely free. It's too heartbreaking that they're sucking up all the profits despite having a support system that's barely any different from an independent creator. This is Waz saying, in terms of content, even though it says, quote, support for individual activities, you can't use commemorative goods, original songs, or studio facilities. You can't do anything. The IP is held by Cover, and even personal judgment can't override that. So what exactly can you do? Group activities aren't possible either. There's no place for it. So what the hell is Cover planning to do? It's not just a state of being disregarded. It feels like being kept in a cage like a pet. Doesn't that leave a super bad impression? This is posted by Nolan Gamer, and this is posted on their X account on April 3rd, 2026 at around 4:07 a.m. And Nolan says, hashtag Holostars. They just said they'd improve how they treat their talents, and before the words even dried on their tongue, this happens? Calling it a, quote, system change sounds way too nice, doesn't it? In Japan, there's a term that's been around forever to mock this kind of tactic. Don't know it? I'll teach you. It's called the banishment room. That's what they call it. Strip away all the benefits of being part of a company, and if they end up leaving on their own, hey, jackpot, right? What a truly infuriating story, hashtag Hololive. Then Newland continues to say, the argument of personal responsibility only holds water if the agency had been consistently providing appropriate support, follow-up, and management to Holostars. No need to spell out what actually happened. So then this is Fighting Bull saying, what the hell are we even recruiting for? And why do we keep providing a place to operate? If you're just going to treat people like shit, the word neglect fitting the bill, then don't bother recruiting in the first place. And then this person says, in other words, it's like they're indirectly saying, we can't support any events or merchandise production due to company management reasons. And if you're going to do it, it'll have to be out of your own expense. So some of the Holostars talents have also responded as well. This is Aragami Oga. Aragami Oga is a male Japanese virtual YouTuber endorsed by Hololive branch Holostars. He's a member of the third generation. Oga posts on their X account on April 3rd, 2026 at around 4:51 a.m. Oga says, I'll take on anything from hyping up death games and emceeing fighting games to voice acting gigs and storytime readings for kids. For job inquiries, please contact Cover Corp. So obviously this is kind of like a sarcastic joke. This is Gerard T. Rexford. Gerard T. Rexford is a male English language virtual YouTuber endorsed by Hololive branches Holostars English. He's a member of Artemis that debuted in 2023. And Gerard says, feeling of frustration right now is an underestimate, but we'll keep doing our best and I will continue to give it my all. And then Gerard says, I am in no position to speak about this, so please follow and listen to what my senpais will have to say on this matter. That will be all. And Banzwan Haka says, please continue supporting Holostars as hard as you can. This is Rika, and Rika is a male Japanese virtual YouTuber. He's a member of Hololive Productions branch Holostars as part of the first generation. So he is one of like the biggest Holostars there, but this is what he's posted on his X account. So Rika posted on April 3rd, 2026 at around 3:35 a.m. Sorry, everyone. So there's not really a whole lot you can say about that, but it's just absolutely terrible what's happened. And this is Hako's Bale, aka Bay, and Bay is a female English-speaking virtual YouTuber associated with Hololive. She debuted in 2021 as part of Hololive English's council, and this is what Bay had to say on her X account. So Bay posted this on April 3rd, 2026 at around 5:51 a.m. and Bay says, I honestly wouldn't be here if it weren't for Holostars JP. I hope everyone will continue supporting Hololive production, JP, Deves, EN, ID, Stars JP, and Stars EN. If it weren't for the stars, I probably wouldn't be here right now. From here on out, I look forward to everyone's continued support for the Hololive production, JP, Deves, EN, ID, Stars, JP, and Stars EN. And then this person says, a real Hololive fan never speaks ill of Holostars. This particular tweet from Bay is a little bit more supportive in regards to her coworkers who have essentially been stripped of pretty much everything that would be helpful in regards to being with a corporation. Like, this is a really frustrating part, guys, because like I'm sure Hololive will still take their money, but they're not actually supporting anything that they're doing now. You can see here, even from this talent's tweet, essentially all support, all like management support, all studio support, all merch support, all of that is essentially being erased. And what's really left is kind of unclear. It's very frustrating that a corporation as big as Hololive has kind of essentially led these talents astray to the point where they had to cut them off. So it's unclear whether or not the IPs will be given to them. That's the problem is, even though they said, like they said this statement, it's very unclear what exactly Cover Corp is giving to their talents moving forward. Obviously, this is a developing situation, so it's really bizarre. And a lot of people have made some very good points that there is a space, like there is a space in the internet for male talents to be successful. But it looks like management did drop the ball on that to the point where they're essentially just throwing them to the curb. And it's really frustrating and it's very sad. So guys, if you are a fan of Holostars, please make sure to go support these talents because obviously they just got like such a huge kick in the butt in regards to what Cover Corp has done to them. So anyways, guys, please make sure to go support all these talents because they definitely need your help. And whether or not this is going to lead to a bunch of graduations and whether or not a bunch of these creators will go indie is unclear. This is a developing story, so we will have to keep our eyes peeled. Okay, guys, and that's it. That's the end of the VTuber Newsy. Thanks so much for watching. Please make sure to like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. And guys, if you're not able to catch me on Twitch, that is no problem. I do have a YouTube channel called Lidia VTuber VODs that backs up all of my gameplay, and I probably play through some of your favorites. I'm currently playing through Castlevania Symphony of the Night, and please remember to help me out by subscribing. I need to reach 50K by my birthday, which is May 28th. Okay, guys, thanks so much for watching. Hope you have a great day. Take care. Bye-bye. Speaking of Leon Kennedy, do you guys know that some women play Resident Evil in a different way? Yes, that's true. Some women who play Resident Evil hurt Leon on purpose so that way they can hear him how do you say not suffer. It's not suffer, but I'm just telling you, sometimes women who love Leon Kennedy make these Leon being injured for 4 minutes. Okay, you can understand. Listen. Do you take a listen? Let's take a listen, shall we, chat?